material cost, we have seen that three important costs are there. One is the material, labor, and overheads. So these three together will form the total cost, elements of total cost. Material cost, okay, labor cost, and other indirect expenses, which will be called as overheads. So all these three, if you will add together using some rules and principles, we will get the total cost of the product or services. Okay. So out of these three important costs, we will first start with the material cost. What is material cost, etc. We will understand in detail in this topic, that is material cost. Okay. Material cost, module number 2 of your syllabus. The last previous classes, we have acquired the basic knowledge about costing. Okay, what is cost, what is the objectives, advantages of costing, etc. In the previous classes, we have studied. Now we will study each element of cost separately. Okay, so first we will start with the material cost. Okay, in the previous module was about introduction to cost accounting. In that we have seen what is cost, costing, price, okay, objectives of costing, classification of cost, etc. In brief, in this module we will study about material cost in detail. So material cost is one of the element of cost, So we will study about each element of cost separately, and we will begin our discussion with material cost. Okay, now what is material? So general meaning of material is all commodities or physical object used to make the final product. See, to produce a product, we require material, input we require, raw material we call it. So without raw material, we cannot produce an output. Okay, to get an output, we should have some inputs. So that inputs you can call it as materials. These are the physical components, physical objects. Okay, like to make cloth. Okay, there will be raw material, cotton, etc. Raw material to make the cloth. Raw material will be cotton, silk, etc., wool, etc. These are materials, which are the physical objects to make the final product. Similarly, for making furniture, what will be all the materials required? Okay, first you will require the plywood. Okay, then you will require the designing materials, etc. So every output, for every output, there should be some inputs. Physical input should be there. So that physical input, you can say physical object to make the final product, you can call it as material. Okay, it is the commodity or the physical object to make the final product. Okay, so without the input, you cannot get the output. Okay, if you want to have a final product, especially in manufacturing sector, etc., the material cost forms a major element of cost. Okay. Now material is classified into two types, direct material and indirect material. Okay, material is classified into two types, direct material and indirect material. So we have already understood what is direct and indirect. So direct material are those material which are directly related to the final product. Okay, example, in furniture, wood is the directly related to the output. Okay, without wood, we cannot manufacture the furniture. So such material which is directly related to your output. For example, cloth, cotton is directly related. So such type of material which is directly attributable to your end product is known as direct material. Okay, so those material which is directly related to your output, final product, will be called as direct material, and all other material which are not directly related will become the indirect materials. Okay, so two things understand: materials are those commodities and physical objects which is used to make the final product. First thing. Secondly, material is classified into two types: direct material and indirect materials. Okay, like the wood in furniture industry or cotton cloth industry. So these are all directly related, no, to your output, final product. Such type of material we call as direct material. All other materials which are useful for making the product but not very much directly related, that material will be called as indirect materials. Okay. Now, see, direct material constitute a significant part for manufacturing and production of the goods. So, most important is the direct material because they constitute the significant part for manufacturing. Like we have seen in cloth industry, cotton is most significant for manufacturing the cloth. So, it will be a direct material. Like in furniture industry, wood is the most significant, so it will become the direct material. So you have to see which material is most significant part for your production of the goods, so that will be called as direct material. Okay, being an input and a significant cost element. So since it is a raw material, it will have a cost, so it requires adequate management attention. Okay, so one of the objective of every management or owner of the company is to try to control the cost. Okay, controlling cost is a important objective of every management or owner of the company. So since direct material forms a significant part of your product and it will involve a significant cost also. Okay, for example, for a furniture, wood is the significant element and it is a very costly element also. So it is a direct input for your product. So it requires adequate management attention also. Okay, because if you will not have a proper control of your cost, you will end up incurring losses also. Okay, so controlling costs is a very important activity of every business. So cost control, we can say, starts from here. Okay, since direct material is a very much significant part of your production and it is having a significant cost also, it requires adequate management attention. Okay, if proper attention is not paid or there is a material losses is there, you don't take proper care of your material, etc., proper storage, etc., is not done of the material, then there will be huge material cost loss and you may end up incurring losses also. So you can say cost control will start from here only, from material only. Cost control will start. Okay, for this purpose, it is necessary that the principles of three E's, that is economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, should be there. What is this economy? You should purchase material from those sources from where you get it as an economical rate. Okay, so that's why you see normally business people will issue tenders, etc. Okay, they will issue quotations, etc. Okay, and they will purchase from those source where they are getting at a little discounted rate. So there should be, first thing you should see that there should be economy in procurement. So you should inquire from number of places from where you get the material, and you should select those places from where you get it an economical rate. So first thing is that there should be economy in procurement. Then next important thing is that there should be efficiency in handling. Okay. Once you receive the material, you should properly handle that material. So you should handle the material efficiently. Okay, and effectiveness in producing the output. Okay, there should be efficiency. You should properly handle that material and you should effectively produce the output. There should not be much wastage of material, etc. So these things you should always keep in mind. You should purchase from from an economical source, from where you are getting at a less rate. Then you should handle the material efficiently and you should produce the output effectively without incurring much wastage. So if you apply these three principles, you can effectively say you can control the material cost. Okay. Now, why it is important to properly record the material and control the material? This is very important to understand. Why it is important to properly record the material which you are receiving in your factory. You should properly record the material and you should properly control the material also. Why it is important? See, some discussion is there on that also, that why it is important to properly record the material. Obviously, when you will receive your material in the factory, you will properly record it, and also there should be proper care of that material also. That is a control of material. You should properly store it. That we discussed now, efficient handling should be there. Why it is important? First, most important thing is that quality of the final product will depend upon the quality of the input. So if you are properly recording and especially you are taking proper control of the material, taking care of the material properly, your output will be of good quality. So if you maintain the quality of input, automatically your quality of output will be increased. This is the first thing you can say. Then price of the final product will depend upon the material cost, because material cost is the significant part of any product. Okay, most important part is the material cost. So material constitute the significant part of any product, and cost of final product is directly related to the cost of material. So this is very important. So if there is wastage, etc., then your automatically material cost will increase and final product cost will increase. And if cost is increasing, you should increase the price. And if price is increased, there may not be proper sale of the product. Okay. Or if you keep the price same, you will incur loss. So for that purpose, you should properly control the materials. Then for continuous production, you should have a material. No? So for that purpose, you should control the material. So production process should run smoothly and should not be paused for want of material. So to avoid production interruption, an adequate level of stock should be maintained properly. Okay, it should not be that you are not getting the material in time. Because of that, you are stopping your production, which is not desirable. Okay, so if you are properly controlling your material and properly maintaining your material, there will be less wastage, and you can say that there will be always adequate stock available with you, so that you can continuously continue with your production activity. Okay. Then another important thing of proper recording and control is that cost of stock holding and stock out. Okay, suppose if your stock runs out, there will be huge cost involved in that. Okay, because understocking causes loss of revenue. If you are not having proper stock of material, you cannot produce properly and you cannot timely honor your contracts. So there will be breach of commitment also. Again, it will have many impact, monetary impact will be there, and there will be loss of goodwill, etc. Okay, suppose if you have taken some contract, that you have entered into contract with some person, and you say that you will give this much output to him in a month, but your material is not adequate for that, so you cannot honor that contract, no? So there will be breach of commitment. Okay, then you will have to pay some penalties, etc., and also there will be loss of reputation also. So this you have to take very much care, that there should be no stock out. So for that, if you control the material properly, maintain proper records, then you will come to know when you have to give order for material, etc. So this is a very important proper recording and control. Then another thing is a wastage and other losses. While handling and processing material, some wastage and loss arise. That is normal, but there should be not much wastage. Okay, so this is another important thing. Then a regular information about resources. A regular and updated information on availability and utilization of material are necessary for informed decision making. So if you maintain proper records, you will come to know when you have to give the next order, etc. So that there will be always continuity in production and stock out will not be there. Okay, so this all thing is benefited because of proper recording. So if you maintain proper record, you will get a regular and updated information. Okay, suppose 1,000 units you purchased a raw material. Okay, you used and you maintain proper record and it became 100. So now you know that you should place next order. So proper recording is very much essential to having regular and updated information on availability and also on utilization of material. It will also help you to know where the material is wasted, other loss, etc. And it will help you in timely and informed decision making. So this is the importance of proper recording and control of material costs. Next important thing is the valuing the materials. Okay. Suppose you purchase the material from the supplier. Okay, you should value that material for recording purpose. You should value that material. Okay, so after procurement of material, after procurement of material, that is after receiving the material from the supplier at your factory, actual material cost is calculated. Okay, so valuing material cost is very important. So because after valuing only you will come to know at what cost you have to record that material. Okay, and we have seen that material is an important element of a cost. Okay, so after procurement, that is after receiving the material from supplier, actual material cost is calculated. Okay, ascertainment of cost of material purchase is called valuation of materials. So after you will place the order with the supplier, then supplier will send you the material. So you will receive the material at your place, factory. So after receiving the material, you should calculate the actual material cost. And this process of ascertaining the material cost is called as valuation of material receipts. Okay. How to value material? What are the principles, rules involved in valuation material? Which cost you have to add? Which cost you have to reduce, etc. That all we will see in the next class. Okay. How to calculate the material cost properly? That we will see in the next class. So for today we will stop our discussion here. So today we have understood what is material, what are the types of materials, direct material, indirect material, and we have seen why it is important to properly record and control the materials. So, and we have understood what is valuation of material, how to value material, that we will see in the next class. What cost we have to add, what cost we have to reduce, and how we will get the correct material cost, that we will see in the next class. So for today, we will stop our discussion here.